Erika Kirk and TPUSA is caught lying again. We are all now noticing all the psyops that's going on, and as you'll see, they don't like it. This is some context that we need in order to move further to get into exactly what's going on. So Candace Owens just posted Erika Kirk's Fort Huachuca alibi. Andrew Kolvet is live texting with the YouTuber, offering proof that Erika wasn't at some fort. He shares Erika's metadata, claiming she had dinner with Charlie and therefore could not have been at Fort Huachuca. Only problem? It's her metadata and scheduled for September 9th. Andrew is being intentionally obtuse. He clearly understands the allegations made is that she was seen on September 8th. Why the intentional disinformation? Also, why not just simply text it to me rather than a random YouTuber? Why is everyone being so intentionally invasive about Fort Huachuca? Now, this text right here is the text where Erika sent to him so they can start their psyop. But it gets even better. Her next tweet comes right before the video. Andrew Kolvet caught live directing YouTubers to clear Erika Kirk's name before the dummy YouTuber accidentally read a message from him where he asked them not to reveal him as a source. Now we have to understand that we're in a full-blown psyop. That would be the only reason why you would want the YouTubers to hide you as a source. You want this to seem organic. If people don't have the information or feel like they should defend you organically, maybe you're just not worth defending. Then she writes, why is Andrew Kolvet pretending Erika Kirk doesn't even know what Fort Huachuca is? No, she meant no one. No one accused her of being in a fort or of being in Tucson or of not being with Charlie on the 9th. Why is Andrew directing this bizarre response behind the scenes? These are the texts right here, but I think it's better for you to just watch it live.
Just so you guys can see what's going on, just so I can see what's going on here, because that screen's small for me. But, I asked him, hey, do you have proof of this? He says, but it's worth saying Erika wasn't in some fort in Tucson. The internet's gone insane. She woke up next to Charlie on the 9th, went to the office with Charlie all day, woke him up from a nap before a fox hit, went to dinner with Charlie. Literally, people are lunatics. And then the next one, I will close picture with the metadata that we have on the screen itself. Proof, she was with her kids at 8:33 a.m. Pacific time, which again, in September, Arizona's on Pacific time. Taking them for a walk. Apparently I wasn't supposed to share that. But anyways.
That's a mistake that Erika Kirk and Turning Point USA didn't see coming. Then Candace Owens pointed out something that was really important. My favorite part of the stream was when, after weeks of shrieking that Mitch lied about being a Green Beret, they calmly concede that he actually was a Green Beret and that they are embarrassed to admit that he was. The first thing they tried to do is discredit a person. They were saying that Candace Owens didn't vet this guy, he's a liar, she just didn't do her homework. So all of this time they were saying that he was lying about even being in the army, period. But then once that got debunked, they had to move on like they never said it before. The initial disinformation campaign is failing, so they are now moving into his past relationships as some sort of unrelated character test. Public isn't stupid. We aren't asking about his character. We are asking to simply verify where Brian Harpool was on that morning and if he was indeed exiting that meeting as Mitch said he was. This isn't hard and shouldn't require PR agents planting alibis with YouTubers. I think we can all agree there. And I don't know how many times I can state this, but for good measure, I have always been very open to the possibility that he simply misidentified Harpool. That's the very reason I reached out to Harpool before we ran the story and we received no response. It's becoming increasingly suspicious that rather than simply responding to me, they are asking YouTubers to speak to ex-wives and children and friends about someone's character when nobody is asking to marry this dude. We just want to know if he saw who he believes he saw. Every other piece of his story that morning has already been verified with military police reports, metadata, hotel confirmations, and videos. Again, this isn't hard. I can understand if these people say like, I'm just not going to respond to it. I'm above the noise. Do the Erika Kirk from the beginning. But instead, they are responding to it, but they are getting people to respond to it for them. And they want to make it seem like it's organic, like people are on their side. The only time people do this is in a psychological operation, when they're trying to control our minds. And to make it even worse, Alex Jones is still digging himself in a hole, and we're trying to figure out why is he digging himself in this type of hole. He's now attacking Stu Peters. If you don't know who Stu Peters is, you should definitely watch this video that's popping up right now, because Stu Peters is the person that destroyed Alex Jones in that video. Alex Jones write, hey Stu, your Queen Candace is already abandoning her Fort Huachuca story. It's really funny to see you continue to double down on total crap. This further proves the psyop, because Alex Jones posted this December 27th. Now, Candace Owens' post about her doubling down on Fort Huachuca and how she's not abandoning the story, she posted this 13 hours ago. And even the things before that was the day before he even posted that. So therefore, Alex Jones know that Candace Owens is still posting this. He knows she's doubling down on exactly what she said, but yet he's trying to make it seem and say things like, oh, she's abandoning the story. I don't know how, if we're all talking about it and she's also talking about it, and she's showing how people was lying about it, and now they are forced to tell the truth. Because in psychological operations, they need you to be stupid. They need you to not think. So therefore, their psyops is just not working. And then they're taking desperate measures. Now, Candace Owens summarized this and added a little bit more details for you.
I just have to jump on here to let you guys know that Andrew Kolvet, the spokesperson for Turning Point USA, just got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, trying to help orchestrate behind the scenes an alibi for Erika Kirk and Fort Huachuca. Now, why is this crazy? For those of you that don't know the backstory here, essentially, this guy, Mitch, it was very compelling, said that he saw Brian Harpole leaving this meeting at Fort Huachuca on September 9th. Now, I wanted to give him the platform after I verified where he was to tell his story, but he also had to include the part where he claims that he saw Erika Kirk the night before, also on Fort Huachuca at Candlewood Inn and Suites, okay? Now, truthfully, I put it at 50-50 because, like I said on my show, I believed that he was at this meeting was significant and that it concluded. I felt really strongly that he saw Brian Harpole. But what's his memory like? Are you good at remembering faces? Did you just see another blonde and think that it was Erika Kirk?
Which then proves the point that she was actually trying to be genuine. She contacted the people before so they can give their side before she even platformed the guy Mitch Snow. And she said multiple times that she cannot confirm what he saw, but she can confirm that he was there.
I can confirm on this podcast live every step of your story in terms of where you went, what time you were there, that there was this big meeting that happened. I've confirmed the location with other people that are on Fort Huachuca currently. I can confirm everything with metadata. I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw.
Which she did confirm that he was there. And they even now confirmed that he was there.
Genuinely, I thought it was at like 50-50 until tonight, where all of a sudden there were all these attacks regarding Fort Huachuca. We didn't really know where they were coming from. You got people calling me insane. Alex Jones jumps into the fray. I'm like, what is happening right now? Why does Fort Huachuca have so many people triggered? Well, there were these YouTubers, Paramount Tactical is one of them, who was basically teasing, like, we're going to take down Mitch and show you guys that he's not a credible witness by going back and going through the files of his marriages and ex-relationships and to show you that he's an abuser. And this is going to be the end of Candace Owens' career, like totally weird.
So instead of trying to prove that she's lying, they have to disprove her credibility. If they can ruin Mitch Snow's credibility, then they don't have to defend the fact if Erika Kirk and Brian Harpole was at that meeting at Fort Huachuca 2 days before Charlie was killed.
Like, I never told my followers that they should go marry Mitch. I have no idea what he was doing 20 years ago in a relationship. There were no convictions against him that I could find, whatever. The point is like, we didn't know where this was coming from. Everyone was like, money must have just gone out. Like, what is happening? Well, tonight was when they did their live to expose me and accidentally exposed Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk. Now, I'm going to show you the messages. Andrew Kolvet was apparently live texting this guy Erika's alibi. Now, this means Erika is sending her alibi. Why wouldn't you just send it to me? Obviously, I didn't have a horse in the race of whether or not he saw you at the hotel. You could have just been like, here's where I was on September 8th. And this whole idea of you even being there would have gone away. Instead, she sends it to Andrew Kolvet to send to these obscure YouTubers who are live, and it didn't click with them that Andrew Kolvet did not want them to say that he was their source. So this guy just starts live reading the messages that are coming in from Andrew Kolvet, where he proceeds to give an alibi that no one asked for. He's like, this is what Erika was doing on September 9th. Okay, the guy said he saw her on the 8th. It's kind of like the Brian Harpole, where they're just like giving us alibis for times that we're not talking about. Again, I wasn't even necessarily pressuring them for an alibi, but he then proceeds to walk him through what Erika was doing on September 9th, and he's pretending like she doesn't even know what Fort Huachuca was, even though her mother has a contract with the Department of Defense. and would have obviously had to have been familiar with Fort Huachuca, which is in her backyard, and in Turning Point USA's backyard as well. Again, I would like to point out that no one said Erika was in some fort, no one said she was in Tucson, and no one said that they saw her on September 9th anywhere. So I don't know what this is. It's just weird. It's a totally strange thing to say. Again, when you have an easy pathway to just reach out to me and say, hey, I saw you mention something on September 8th. Here's where Erika was. Notice that's Erika's hand. So that means Erika, the CEO of Turning Point USA, is directing the spokesperson of Turning Point USA, Andrew Kolvet, to send her alibi to Paramount Tactical as he is going into the history of Mitch and supposed to be exposing Mitch for being a serial abuser, but actually exposes Turning Point USA.
Now remember, they're now giving up alibis. So therefore, if they can give up an alibi, which means they can just easily come back and say, oh, my mistake, that was September 9th. Here is September 8th. So if they don't do that, then it proves the point that they was trying to hide something.
You just cannot make this up. This is like a PR nightmare, a crisis. This is just a crisis. Look, I'm just saying the TikTokers are going to have a field day. Okay, Bibi Netanyahu has not gotten these TikTokers out of control. They already are not feeling the vibes about Erika. Now you got this directing behind the scenes attacks on really Candace for whatever reason, but sending them out to do videos about Mitch. And then you do this false debunking when it's just so telling the truth is free. If you could just be here you go. It's going to lead people to ask questions, and it's probably the opposite thing is going to happen, where people are going to wonder if Mitch's memory was correct, and he did see Erika at Fort Huachuca on September 8th in the evening as Charlie Kirk was touching down from Tokyo.
And that's another part that she mentioned before, that they made Charlie Kirk go to Tokyo for some reason, only to come back to have to go do a Utah run, which Candace Owens was saying that's a little bit odd. But being that they did that switch, they would have enough time for Erika and whoever else to do whatever they got to do undetected, because Charlie was outside of the country. But she was back home by the time he was back home. It seems like everything came back to normal as soon as he touched back home. But we don't know. But what we do know is no psyop is going to work on us.